so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you so much. Joining wherever you are joining from, I appreciate you. Please, as you join the broadcast, kindly help us to share. That is the way we can reach other people, because they don't allow us to reach out to people. We can only be able to reach out to other people when you help us to share. Udem Onyeme, thank you so much for joining. Udem Onyeme, thank you so much. I appreciate you. One for Monday, thank you so much for joining. One for Monday, I appreciate you. And every other person that is going to join that I've not called your name, you're watching on the background, you're not reaching anything, I appreciate you. Every one of us is very important in this very program today. Any place you are joining from, I appreciate you, and I thank you very much for spending your time with me. And for the people who are coming for the very first time, I want to remind you that you are in a platform that is autopiloted by Chukwu Okike Abiama himself, under the spokesmanship of Mazi Simon Ekpa and on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, standing together with the Biafra Republic government in exile. That is where we are today, and we are making huge progress. We are making huge progress. I appreciate every one of you that have connected, any place you are connecting from. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide you, protect you, and secure you. Every one of us know the stage we are today. We are now working with the Biafra government in exile. That is the development we have, and we are very appreciative, and we are happy that Chukwu Okike Abiama have taken us to that level. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us about the new dimension, some of us for a very long time has been asking questions. When is this new dimension going to be open? When is this channel of new dimension going to open? People are asking different questions on different platforms. I can tell you that such questions today have been answered. It's answered itself, not by word, not by explanation. It's answering itself. And if you are a genuine Biafran, if you are genuinely seeking for freedom, there is no reason why you must not support our new Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa. There's no reason why you must not support him. There's no reason, there's no excuse why you cannot support him. Every one of us have to rise up and support our new Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile. We continue to support him and support everything that has to do with Biafra. We are in restoration stage. It is no longer the time when we are talking about agitation, agitation, agitation. We are no longer agitating. We are in restoration stage. And at this stage of restoration, everybody must put their hand on deck. Everybody must be working. Everybody must be busy. You must ask yourself, what is your role in this restoration stage that we are in? What is your role in this restoration stage you are in? That is what you have to ask yourself. And that is why today I chose the topic I chose here. I say, Biafra must rise above self-hate. We must rise above self-hate to self-preservation. We Biafrans must rise above self-hate to self-preservation. At the stage that we are today, every Biafran, we are supposed to focus on the progress that have been made. This is not the time for you to begin to find fault. This is not the time for you to become a distraction. If you feel that we are in a very high speed that you cannot be able to cope up with, please go on your own way and pursue your own slowly, as slow as you can. If you feel you cannot be able to dance the music that we are playing, feel free to play your own music and dance it the way you want to dance it. But make sure that you are working towards the coming of Biafra. That is number one thing you must have at the back of your mind. Whatever you are doing, make sure you put the actualization of Biafra in your head. As long as you are doing something to make sure that Biafra comes, You're online. We have nothing against you. And we work with you. We support you. We appreciate you. We follow you along. That is what we do. Even our new Prime Minister of Biafran government, Biafra Republic government in exile, have said it. The new Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile have said it. That if you can do something to get Biafra before us, it is allowed. Go ahead. When you get it before us, we will happily join you in Biafra land and celebrate. And if we get the Biafra before you, every one of us will equally meet in Biafra land. Then we celebrate. And at the end of the day, the Biafran court will decide who did the right thing and who did the wrong thing. We will all be answerable to the Biafran people at the end of the day. That is one thing every one of us should have at the back of their mind. We will be answerable to Biafran people. This is not the time for us to continue to hate each other. It is not the time for us to continue to attack each other. It is not the time for us to continue to distract each other. This is the time for us to preserve each other. This is the time for us to support each other. Self-preservation. Preserve ourselves as Biafran people. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your location. It doesn't matter your sex. It doesn't matter your stance. It doesn't matter what you believe on, what you confess. What matters to us today is freedom. As long as you are genuinely speaking the language of freedom, you got our support. As long as you speaking the language of freedom, you got the support of the Biafran people. They will continue to support you because that is what we want. We are not asking for anything else. We are not troublemakers. We are not trying to take away anybody unnecessarily. We are not trying to distract people. Neither are we trying to defraud anybody. We are genuinely seeking for that which is in our heart. That is what we are pursuing. We are genuinely seeking for freedom, for us to be free. More especially today, you know that the detention of our Supreme Master Nnamdi Kanu is in the front burner. And I have said it time and time again, that the only way we can be able to secure the freedom of Master Nnamdi Kanu is to secure Biafra. Anybody that is pursuing the actualization of Biafra is actually pursuing the freedom of Master Nnamdi Kanu. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Sometimes it baffles me when some people come and ask us and they say, what are you doing for the freedom of Master Nnamdi Kanu? What are you doing for the freedom of... The people that are asking this question are those who are not following what we are doing. These are Biafrans who are not even committed in what we are doing. Because every single thing the autopiloted IPOB is doing today is geared at the freedom of Master Nnamdi Kanu. There is no way you can be talking about the actualization of Biafra without the freedom of Master Nnamdi Kanu. These two things are one. You can't separate one from the other. You cannot separate one from the other. So when I see people come and say that, what are we going to do? What are we doing? But we are already doing something. The person that needs to answer that question is you that is answering that question, asking that question. You that is asking that question, what are we doing? Ask yourself, among every strategy that the new Prime Minister of Biafra in exile, new Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile, among all the strategies he had laid down, how many of these strategies were you able to keep? How many were you able to pursue? I am telling you now in a straight word and in a straight language that when you come and you begin to ask, what are we doing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What are we going to do? Every single thing we are doing today for the actualization of Biafra is geared at freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because it is only the coming of Biafra that will give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a genuine freedom. That is why you must be serious and support somebody that is pursuing the actualization of Biafra. You must be serious when you hear about pursuing the actualization of Biafra. Some of them will tell you we are talking about Biafra. And what are we doing about the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? And when they make such statement, it will occur to me that these people are not genuine Biafrans and they do not know what freedom is all about. These people actually are not committed to what is happening. If you are a genuine Biafran and you're paying attention to every single thing that is happening, you will know that
a lot of strategies that are put in place for the coming of Biafra is geared at free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some of them will come to the extent of telling what is Simon Ekpa doing for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What is this one? Our spokesperson and the new Prime Minister of Biafran government, Biafra Republic government in exile, he has put a lot of things in place to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is freed. But the question is, you that is asking that question, among every of those strategies that were put in place, how many have you obeyed? How many have you put in place? Please share this broadcast in your platform. Share it in any WhatsApp group you belong. Whichever WhatsApp group you belong, I beg you in the name of Chukwuka, share this very broadcast so that it will get to people. Because this question, so many WhatsApp groups, when you go to certain groups, you hear people asking that question in WhatsApp group. What are we doing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What are we going to do to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What are we doing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? This question has a straight answer, and the answer has been given again and again and again. The strategy on how to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what we are going to do Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are things that our spokesperson, the new Prime Minister of Biafran government in exile, have put in place long time ago. The pursuit of Biafra is the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi, is geared at the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And our spokesperson, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the new Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, have put a lot of strategies on the ground. Every one of us was here when Mazi Simon Ekpa lined up different kinds of strategies, different kinds of civil disobedience that we are going to engage in to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free. Mazi Simon Ekpa lined up different kinds of strategies, different kinds of civil disobedience that we engage in to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know what some of you are asking. Are you asking us to pick up arms and begin to fight in the public, or begin to destroy things, or begin to go and take innocent life? Is that what I want us to do? There are civil ways that you can be able to apply that is more than using arms. You saw the achievement that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made the great achievement he made with only his voice, only the microphone. Today, the Zoological Republic is decimated and destroyed completely. In the same way, if you can effectively engage in the civil disobedience that our spokesperson Mazi Simon Ekpa have lined up from immemorial, if we're able to keep them, I bet you the Zoological Republic will come on their knees. They will come on their knees. I am not telling you that we are not going to defend ourselves when it comes to defending ourselves. When it comes to the extent of defending ourselves, just as we are doing today, we will continue to do that, and we will do it more than we are doing today. Biafran land is being defended today by the ESN. Biafran land is being defended today by the Liberation Army. But that is not enough. You that is asking, what are we doing? What are we going to do? What are we doing? What is Mazi Simon Ekpa doing? I am asking you, among everything that Mazi Simon Ekpa have lined up as civil disobedience, which one have you participated in? Which one have you participated in? When you go into some WhatsApp groups, in many groups I'm in, I see such questions begin to come. What are we going to do? What do we do? What are we going to do? What do we do? But the things you have been told to do, you are not doing anything. You have not been able to obey simple instructions that you have been given. Our spokesperson, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the new Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, has, even before now, put a lot of things in place to make sure that the restoration of Biafra, the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, becomes a reality as fast as possible. All he needs is the cooperation of the Biafran people, you and I. Every one of you can agree with me that only the sit at home that we are doing every Monday, that sit at home alone have achieved a great lot. There is no doubt today, that sit at home alone that we are doing on Monday has made the detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu something that becomes on the front line news every day. They cannot run away from it. And even in that Monday sit at home, do you see that the Biafrans are not even engaging in it the way it's supposed to be? You are asking, what are we going to do? So many of you that are asking that question, what do we do? What are we going to do? in your own area, in your own local government, in your own village, your own state, they are not even participating in the sit at home. Ordinary Monday sit at home, only one day in a week. They are not participating. Some of you that are asking that question, what are we going to do to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Ordinary sit at home, Monday sit at home. So many of you are not engaging in it. So many people that come and raise those questions on WhatsApp group, on questions and ask, what do we do? Why are we silent? We are not doing anything. We are not doing... The instructions have been given what to do to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. There is no doubt that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is in the territory of the enemies. The only way we can be able to reach out to the enemy is to touch those things that affect the enemy. To touch those resources, those means, those things we know that will make the enemy restless. And I bet you we are doing that. But the area that remains is for the Biafran people to give their full cooperation. Starting from this very seat at home. If Biafrans can unanimously obey instructions and follow everything that the new Prime Minister of the Biafran government in exile gives, if you follow his instruction, I bet you it will not take months. It will not take months. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be out. But most of the time, all you come online is to complain, you come to blame, you come look for fault. But simple instruction that we given, you don't follow. I am just giving an example with the sit at home. Sit at home, you see that many people are not engaging in it. The only place we get a concrete result and report all the time is in Abia State. Abia State. You see the result is coming in Abia State. And Imo State. And some other places in Abia State. If every one of us can collectively lock up Biafra land, lock it up completely, if we can be able to cooperate and lock up Biafra land completely, entirely, every Monday, lock it up without any exemption. If we can do that, only that alone can move mountain. The little one will do is see what has happened. And you heard when Mazen Samuel Ekpa gave another strategy of refusal to pay every tax that you know that is meant to go to the purse of the government. Do not give it to them. Take that tax away from them. Our spokesperson, the new Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile, gave that option. Gave that option. We should take away that tax. And the people that are collecting it, we should take them away. Did we obey that? How many of you cooperated? How many of you engaged in that? These are strategies you can use to cripple the government, and they will be on their knees in months. Within a month, they will be on their knees. Our spokesperson and the new Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile also gave another instruction on making sure that the resources they are taking from Biafra land, we put a stop for it. We put a stop from them from taking resources from our land. We put a stop, and these are things we can do individually. Don't wait until when the ESN do everything for you. ESN cannot be everywhere at the same time. And there are certain things that they cannot do. There are certain areas they will not perform. Today, the ESN and the Liberation Army, they have a responsibility of protecting our borders and making sure that the invaders, the kidnappers, the Fulanis that are kidnapping and invading the land will not be able to enter. That very action, they are carrying out that activity effectively and very, very well. Protecting our borders and our areas and our bushes. They are doing it perfectly well. When it comes to civil disobedience, in civil disobedience, individuals, you and I, we have to participate in that. In civil disobedience, you don't wait for the ESN to come and begin to force you to engage in civil disobedience. You don't have to wait for the ESN to begin to enforce civil disobedience. You don't wait for them. But it's so sad that many people that come online to complain, what are we doing to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? What shall we do to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Simple instruction that is being given, they do not follow. They don't follow. If every one of us can be able to hold our own locality, if you can be able to campaign, sensitize people, starting from your own village. Every one of us have a village. Every one of us have a city. Every one of us have a area we're living for. Every one of us have a friend. If we can start from people who are very close to us and begin to convince them to be focused, begin to convince and preach the message of Biafra, for it to sink into them to be able to participate in every single civil disobedience that Master Samuel mentions, we are going to move mountains. We are going to move mountains. So you see, do not ask that question and say, what are we doing? We are doing a whole lot of things. Everything that needs to be done is being done. But we are not yet, the people on their own, Biafran people are not yet cooperating and doing enough. You have seen every time the Master Samuel will come and make an announcement of civil disobedience. Some people play a deaf ear, see they didn't hear. Now, the civil disobedience have been announced of May 29 and 30th. The announcement has been given earlier, very early, so that you prepare towards that very time. May 29th and 30th should be a lockdown in Biafra land. But you will see that on that very day, some people will still wait. They will still be expecting the enforcement before they can be able to obey. Including people that will come and ask you, what are we doing to free Mazen Nandekan? You pretend to love Mazen Nandekan. Oh, what can we do? Well, it is not easy to talk, not just by talking. There are certain things we will do without even going to Abuja. And Abuja will be running helter-skelter. There are certain things we do in our various angles, in our various states, in our various villages, in our various localities, and Abuja will be on fire. And those strategies have been lined up by our spokesperson and the new Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile. But some of us are not yet keen into that very thing fully. We must have to key in fully. Key into the strategy. Nobody is resting. Our Prime Minister is busy 24/7. He's engaging 24/7. The diplomatic engagement he's having today is more than you can ever imagine. Top notch. Places you never believe that he'll get to. Chukwu Okagame is opening those doors. Our new Prime Minister of Biafra government he has never had a rest. He never has rest. He never has a time of his own. He's doing several things at the same time. But what do you see? The Biafran people, some of us who are supposed to encourage him, who are supposed to hold up his hand until we get to Biafra land, some of them are very busy gossiping, very busy talking about irrelevant issue. I saw one comment on my post that I made when I posted about the Biafra Republic government office in United States. Somebody came there. The only thing that person saw on that very write-up he wants to talk about is asking me, who is the Deputy Prime Minister? Somebody came. The only problem that the person has was asking, who is the Deputy Prime Minister? Who is the Deputy Prime Minister? Among every achievement and everything that need to be done, including the freedom of Mazen and all that have been said, the only thing that concerned that very person, he wrote that very comment more than 5 times. That who is the Prime Minister of who is the Deputy Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile? This is how evil some of them are. This is how insensitive some of them are. They will always try to find fault to distract you or talk about what has the deputy got to do with what we are doing. There is time for everything. When the times come for us to have a deputy, we will have. Our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekano had a deputy. How did it end up? How did it end up? We don't need those different ranks and all rank and file, putting people everywhere, positions everywhere, people occupying places with the big names. At the end of the day, they turn to become a distraction. But you see somebody, this is the only thing that bothers that very man whom I don't know who he is. On the comment section, he was always asking about who is the deputy, who is the deputy, who is the deputy. Now he has not forgotten about the real pursuit of the Biafran freedom, the real pursuit of the freedom of Mazen Nandekano, and the achievement made so far. All they focus their attention is on looking for fault. how long will you continue to distract yourself?